Okay, 4.2 isosceles and equilateral triangles. We're going into our triangle congruency chapter. We'll talk about how we can tell certain triangles are congruent to each other. So, isosceles triangles, we discussed it 2 days ago. Isosceles triangles have two sides that are what? Well, sides can't be equal.
The same.
So what's that math word that means they're the same but not equal? Congruent. Okay, if two sides of a triangle are congruent, then the angles, opposite those two sides are congruent. Now remember, side lengths are equal, but objects are congruent. Okay, so we have, if I have an isosceles triangle, meaning if you look at your picture, AB is congruent to BC, that means that angle A is congruent to angle C. What do we know about all the angles in a triangle? No.
There's two lines.
What do we know about all the angles in a triangle? No.
So they equal 180.
They all equal 180 when we add them up. Yes?
I do?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the isosceles triangle theorem. We have the converse of it. Remember, that's backwards, right? So the theorem said if the two sides are congruent, the opposite angles are congruent. So the converse is going to say if two angles are congruent of a triangle, if two angles of a triangle are congruent, then the sides opposite are also what? Congruent. So remember, converse just means the statement backwards, right? So the first one said if the two sides are congruent, the opposite angles are congruent. The converse says if the opposite of the angles are congruent, the opposite sides are congruent. Make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Are we good?
Yes.
Dylan?
Yes.
Thank you. So, here's our picture. And it says, what is the value of x? Make sure you listen to your page, I guess, if it's asking for x or actually asking for the angles. That makes a difference, right? So it says, what is the value of x? Well, what do I know about the shape?
It's a triangle, so it equals
It's a
180.
what kind of triangle?
Small
Isosceles triangle. We know that all the angles added up together equal 180. So I just gave you a theorem that says if the two sides are congruent, the two opposite angles are also what? Congruent. So what is this angle over here? 28. So if I know the two base, those are called the base angles. Just a second. Base angles are here and here. And this is called the vertex angle. So if you think about that, kind of makes sense, right? So if I know the two base angles are 28, and I know the top angle is 5x plus 9, what do I need to do to all of those to figure out what x is? Add them and equal it to what? 180. So 28 plus 28 plus 5x plus 9?
Yes.
Okay, 28 and 28 is 56.
Yes.
So plus 9, so 65.
Yes.
So 65 plus 5x
Equals 180.
equals 180.
And then when we subtract 65 from 180,
Then you would subtract 65, correct?
so you get 125?
125.
115.
115, you forgot to borrow. Well, you borrowed, you forgot to take away. So 5x equals 115.
Divided by 5.
So I'm going to divide by 5, and I want everybody to watch me divide by 5. 5 goes into 11 how many times?
2.
2, with 1 left over.
So 3.
So 5 goes into 15,
3 times.
3. So x is 23. Does that get a degree symbol?
Yeah.
No.
No, because it's actually an angle.
Because it's not an angle, is it? X itself is not an angle, is it? No.
Were you about to sneeze and you shook your
No, I was shaking my head no. Don't say yes. Okay, so if I wanted it to get the angle, I'd have to plug 23 in right there, right? And I want to do that. Do you want to do that?
No.
Okay. So next one.
I think I know.
I could have just counted the 5s.
Is this all? It really is.
Kind
It's
of
adding.
different. I mean,
It's
just
like algebra.
different. Yes, it is algebra. Okay, so I have negative 4x plus 9 and 8x minus 3. What do I know about those two angles? They're congruent. They're the same. So if the angles are congruent, those expressions are what? Equal. Who said equal? Good job. So negative 4x
We just said it.
plus 9. No, she just said they're equal. So we set them what? Equal. If I know those two angles are equal, I just set them what?
Okay, Miss Maker.
Equal. Solve it. So x equals
2.
One.
How many times is 12 going to 12?
I
2.
didn't see that.
I said it.
Did you not get 12 equals 12?
No.
What did you get?
Well, I didn't add the negative 3 to the positive 9. I subtracted it
Oh,
because there's a negative.
yeah, but that doesn't work that way, does it? No. So did you guys get 12? Oh, 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I know it's 1, I'll plug in 1 this time. If it asks for x, I have x, yes?
Yes.
So let's plug it in and find the angles. How about that?
So,
So it'd be negative 4
parentheses
plus-
1.
well, okay, but negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Okay, so negative 4 plus 9 is 5. The next one better be 5 also, right?
It has to be.
It has to
Minus
be.
3
So 8 minus 3 is
5.
5. So I have 5 degrees and 5 degrees. What's this one?
5.
5
10.
degrees.
No.
170.
They all.
Okay, I'm going with the 5. Why 5? It's 170 is the answer, but 5?
180 minus 10.
180
5 plus 1 minus 10.
minus 10.
Huh?
No,
Said 170 and you go.
No, I was
Okay.
saying that to him.
Oh.
because Kale said it was 5.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
like,
just throwing the number out.
okay. So it's not that hard to find the other missing angles, right?
No.
Okay.
Pretty hard.
Pretty hard. Okay. Oops.
What are you laughing at?
Okay, again, solve for x. Now, I know rules about angles, yes? Kale,
I'm not doing that in fraction.
Kale, I am trying to record and I should not have to sit there and tell you to act right.
No.
Okay, I know a lot of stuff about angles of a triangle. Do I have any rules that apply to the sides of the triangle?
No.
Not really, right? Not like the total length of all the sides add up to a certain amount. No.
Fraction?
So, it's a fraction. Okay, so what kind of a triangle is this?
It's a.
Right, I heard it.
Isosceles.
Why? How do you know?
Yeah,
Because
they're
all
angles
sides
in
are
general.
Wait, isosceles says two sides are congruent.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't see two congruent sides.
The long one and the long one.
No.
No.
They're
You got a
not.
point.
This picture does not tell me two congruent sides, does it?
No.
No, it tells me two congruent what?
Angles.
Angles. But do we know if two angles are congruent, then the opposite sides are what?
Congruent.
Congruent. So do we know this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but does it tell me that till I put that there?
No.
No. Okay, so I know this side and this side are congruent, so that means they are what?
Equal.
Equal, so write them equal, yeah? X plus 20,
Equals 8x over 3.
8x over 3. So what number is causing me an issue at this moment? The 3. So I'm dividing by 3, so the inverse operation is
Multiplication.
multiply by 3, right?
Yeah.
So I multiply over here by 3. And then I have to do what with it?
Cross it out. Get rid of it. Multiply
I
that
did.
by 3.
Distribute 3.
Yeah.
So I get 3x plus 60 equals
8x.
8x. Now, I start with the fraction, but if I knew how to get rid of it, did it matter? Nope.
Then wouldn't you subtract the 3?
I would subtract a 3x.
So you get 60 equals 5 divided by 5. And you get 8.
How about 12?
I was thinking of 45.
Okay. So with that 12, could I figure out all the sides of the triangle?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, if I didn't have this information right here, it's gone. Could I figure out that side of that triangle?
Yeah.
No.
No, because it's not like the angles. Angles all add up to 180. The sides don't have a certain thing, right? Okay. I want you to do this one on your own.
I'm on.
How'd you get 2?
I divided. Isn't that what you do? I just caught it when you asked. So what's my answer?
That's what I got. And then you divide by 4.
So what's my answer?
Would be 4.
No,
6 over 4
no.
over
3 over 2.
3 over 2. Did I tell you it had to be a whole number?
no.
Nope.
Hey. I did it.
And Kale even reduced. Good job, Kale.
Good for you.
Thanks.
Glad you did something.
Questions, guys?
No.
Let's move on.
Okay. Isosceles triangle, angle bisector theorem. Okay, so we're going to talk about the name before we fill anything out. What is an angle bisector? From like chapter 1.
One of those
Why are you looking
things.
up and down like that?
I was looking at your shirt.
Okay, stop. What is an angle bisector?
One of those.
I have no idea.
Be
And bisect.
It's angle
It's
bisector.
an angle that's bisected.
Okay, so what does bisect mean?
Cut in half.
Cut in half.
Cut in half, 2 equal parts, right?
Yep.
Okay, so if a line or line segment bisects the vertex angle of an isosceles triangle, then it is also the perpendicular
Oh, I didn't even see that.
bisector of the opposite side. So, again, if a line or line segment bisects the vertex angle, remember the vertex angle was the one that wasn't congruent to anything, right? Of an isosceles triangle, then it is also the perpendicular bisector of the opposite side. So perpendicular means it meets the side at a what angle? Right? A 90-degree angle. And it bisects it, so it cuts it in
Wow.
half. So, how do I know in this first picture that angle B is bisected?
Because it was cut in half.
How do you know that?
Angles are not equal. Because the little lines that show that.
The little curves, right? The little arcs, they match. So it's telling me that those are congruent, right? So if those are congruent, then it hits at a what angle? 90-degree angle, which makes these two pieces
Equal.
congruent.
Same thing.
Guys good?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the measure of RSQ? So RSQ is in here, right? And what is PR? So PR is
Here and there.
here to there. So which one would you like to find first?
RSQ.
R.
RSQ.
RSQ?
Yes.
Okay. How you want to find RSQ?
So if those two are congruent, that means the angle right by R is 31 degrees.
So that, yep.
So then you use 4 and 31 to find it, the other one. F.
But that'd be the same on the other side though.
Yeah, it is insane.
So how?
So is the other side 4 too, between P and Q?
Yeah, because it's a
So what number?
because no, just a second. You just had a theorem that said if this the vertex angle is bisected, is it bisected?
Yeah.
So then it's a perpendicular bisector of the opposite side. So if this piece is 4, this piece is
4.
4. So PR, so we jump ship to PR, right? Is PQ
8.
plus QR,
What? Oh.
which is 4 plus 4, which is 8. I'm doing the whole process because if I have one of those pieces, can I find the rest?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now, we need to go back to the angle. We started with 31, so the opposite was 31. That's correct. So there's 3 triangles here, yes?
Yeah.
So we want to try to find the one angle of the third triangle. There's different ways we could do it. I don't want to tell you.
Take 180 minus 62.
180 minus 62.
That gets your bottom angle and use
So 180
your angle.
minus 62, because 31 times 2 is what? 62. So that's 118.
Yeah.
Okay, so 118 is this whole angle, correct?
Yeah, so then you divide it by 2
Divided by 2.
and you get
So 2 goes into 11 how many times? 5, 1, 9. So that is angle RSQ.
Yeah.
Now, can I show you a different way?
There's other
59
anyways.
to 31 to get the right angle.
Okay. Well, you have a triangle. And Dylan, I think you said what I'm going to say. I reminded you there was 3 triangles, right?
Yeah.
Here's a triangle in here. In that triangle, it still adds up to 180, yes?
Yeah.
I know 90 and I know 31. So 180 minus 90 plus 31,
Why did I pick 52?
which is 121. So 180 minus 121 is
59.
59.
I just added 59 to 31.
90 plus 31.
Okay, so can I do these maybe a couple different ways? Maybe. Okay, ready for the last thing?
I guess.
There's another thing.
Yep, it's easy. Okay, equal lateral means equal sides, because lateral are sides, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so an equal lateral triangle is it's equiangular. Okay, oops. Okay, what does equiangular mean?
Equal angle.
All the angles are equal, yes?
Yeah.
So if it's equal lateral, it is also equal angular. And if it's equal angular, I keep forgetting my U. It's also equilateral. So one tells me if I know the sides are equal, I know the angles are equal. And if I know the angles equal, then I know the sides are equal. So you can draw a little. Now guys, here's a question for you. I gave you 6 different equal angular triangles, 6 different sizes, but every angle in every one of those triangles is how much?
The same,
Mm-hmm.
And what is that?
180.
Degrees,
What, Dylan?
60 degrees.
It is 60 degrees. How?
It has 3 angles, 60 times 3 would be 180.
Or 180 divided by 3 is 60. So does it matter how long my sides are? No. If they tell you, I love it when people tell me, I don't know how big the angle is, Mrs. Mick, I can't find it. Guys, if it is an equal angular triangle, every single angle is what? It's the same, but it's not the same. It's what? 60. Write it. Know it. Don't forget it. Because I've seen it on the ACT. They give you a triangle and they say solve it. Solve for X. And people are like, I don't know the angle. Well, it's an equal angular or lateral triangle. So that means every angle is how much?
60.
60. Am I good? Okay. Are you trying to sharpen your pencil? Okay, what are we doing right now, Joshua? Okay, I want to know angle CBD. Oh, I know CBD is 130. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with 130, guys?
It's not.
What's it missing?
Equal.
It's missing 50 degrees.
A degree symbol, isn't it? Okay.
I said that.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to write it. Okay, CBD, that means it's the whole thing, yes?
Yep.
Is 130 degrees. Okay? It wants me to find BAD. So it wants me to find up here. Right? BAD. So how am I going to do that?
Man.
Some days.
Facts. Well, if it's all one, what's half of 130?
Well, that does not say it bisects it. It just says adding both of those two angles gives you
Oh,
130.
if you folded it,
Well,
you'd be perfectly fine.
no, you can't trust your picture.
Actually,
Only what's written on it. What is written on that one triangle, guys?
30, split in half, now gives you 2 angles on the
I
side.
just said that.
Okay, listen.
Yeah, I
You,
said it.
All them angles are equal. You see the lines?
yep, all these, the sides are equal, so the angles are
Equal.
equal. So this is 60, 60,
60.
60.
Same with the other.
60.
No, these are all 60. That's all you know.
Yeah, but that one line
I'm
over
pretty
there-
sure she
Okay.
just said exactly what he said.
No,
Okay.
I haven't even talked about that other one. This other triangle is not an equal angular triangle.
Okay.
It is an isosceles triangle next to a equilateral triangle, correct? Okay, so what can we figure it out now?
The other side?
Okay, so if this side is 60, what's the other side?
60.
No, because 60 plus 60 is 120. Thank you.
For the whole thing, though?
Nope, 70 is just for this piece right here.
Okay, I see it.
Okay, now what?
I don't even know.
Now you have to. Is the rest of them 60?
Mm-mm.
I'm confused.
What kind of triangle am I in now? What kind of triangle is this? Isosceles, yes?
Yeah.
And 70 is the vertex angle, correct?
Yes.
0.
So if these two sides are congruent,
That means
These
A,
two
the right
angles-
is
are what?
The same,
So how am I gonna figure them out?
minus,
130 minus 70.
Nope.
70 by minus
90.
180
minus,
minus 70 gives you 110.
So is it 110?
Nope.
Divide.
Two angles.
Then divide it by what? 2. It's the same problem you've had before, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you know?
Just because it's upside down, does it change? No.
I'm confused on where we got 70.
Well, if we know this part is 60, we know the whole thing is 130. What's the other piece, Kale? If you know one piece is 60, the whole thing equals 130.
60 plus what equals?
So you subtracted 60 from 130. Okay. So we're going to divide it by 2 and get 55.
Mm-hmm.
So angle CBD is 55. Now, we couldn't just go straight there. You guys have to keep it. So when you draw your picture, do you maybe need to draw it bigger?
Yeah.
Yeah? Could you separate it if you needed to? Yeah? You do what you need to do. So the next one, we're going to find every angle in that picture. Hopefully easier than the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know 72. Dakota, I know 72. Is there anything else I can figure out?
180.
We know 180, right? We probably need to look at this triangle right here first, correct? It's isosceles.
And that'd be 180.
So it means these two angles are what? Congruent. If I know 72, how am I going to find the other two?
Take 180 minus 72.
You're going to take 180 minus 72, which is 108.
107.
108.
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2 is 52. So this is 52. And this is 52. I'm pretty sure.
I thought it'd be 50.
That,
Oh, 54.
54.
I was gonna say,
I'm gonna say 2 plus 2 don't equal 8.
No, I don't. 4. Okay, 54. Now what?
you can find
Now the other
that
triangle.
angle, take 180 minus 54.
You could take 180 minus 54. So 180 minus 54 is
46.
126. Okay, guys. So this is 126. I have a question for you. Didn't we get a rule that the exterior angle is the sum of the two interior angles? Yeah? So is 54 plus 72 126 also?
I don't know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we got to find this angle and this angle.
Is one of them
Take
180?
180
One.
minus 126.
180 minus 126. So 54
And that's not his rule.
divided by
2.
2. So it's 27.
Yeah.
So here is 27 and
There. Down
There.
At the bottom.
it's 27. So you did get that one a little bit better. Okay, don't just stare at it. Use what you know. Okay?
Yes.
So
At it.
you guys got 6 problems for your homework. That is it.
How much time do I